So, in a few days, it's my birthday, and I've been thinking back nostalgically about some of the things of my past that I used to enjoy. Last week, it was Burnout. This week, it's Tokyo Drift. Now, when you think Tokyo Drift, I'm thinking of the movie Fast and Furious. I think it's the third movie in the franchise, but also not really because it's a spin off, but then it's probably the best movie in the series, so I don't really understand how that works. Needless to say, it's my favorite movie in the series, and part of the reason for that is just the culture. The acting is kind of terrible, the story is not great, but it's the cars that really make the movie good, and the style of the cars as well. It's so 2006, it's ridiculous. There were other things going on at that time, stuff like Pimp My Ride, and the scene culture at that time. The car shows back in those days used to be nuts. I was alive back then. I'll be 28 in a few days, so 2006. I was old enough to at least comprehend these things. I would have been 11. Yeah, that's a long time ago. But I want to bring that back, at least in a different form, so I'm bringing out a new series. This is called Rice My Ride, or Ruin My Ride, or TBA. I haven't actually figured out what I want to do yet for this title. So, this is a car made by a member of my Discord. All I did was send out a thing in one of the channels, and I was like, hey, send me a car, and I'm going to feature it in a video, and here we go. This is made by Rise Comics, so thank you for entrusting me with your ride. Now I think it's time to rice it. First thing to do, though, is just look at what we have, and this is an absolute pimp mobile, already with the two-tone paint. It is supposed to be a Rolls Royce or a Bentley or something like that. It's very modern, very fancy. I did ask for modern, although I didn't anticipate fancy. I was honestly just hoping that somebody would make a Honda Civic and then I could modify it from that. But it is a ton of fun to start with something that somebody else has made and change it for your own style and your own works. So that's what we're going to do today. Taking a look at the stats, we have a 5-liter V10. Now, Pimp My Ride and a lot of cars back in those days were almost exclusively style-based rather than performance modifications that we're used to. So we might not actually do anything with this engine. It already makes 582 horsepower. That's got to be enough. The fact that this car is already two-toned and already chromed and all that just means it needs to be taken to the next extreme level. Also, it has suicide doors, which is crazy, but yeah, I think I can make this even worse. First thing I'm going to do is absolutely dump the thing. I want it down as low as it can possibly go, and that is not even close to low enough. If we take a look at it on the ground, on the ground, there we go, and we'll actually show the car hoist. Yeah, that's just way too much ground clearance. We need like half of that, even less. Down she goes. It's on air now. Maybe just there so that it still doesn't pop out through the fender. I do want to make this look nice and be at least moderately respectful to the people that made it, or the person that made it. But in this series in general, I do want to be at least reasonably respectful. Now, that being said, that's bagged, and it looks darn good because of it. It currently has 22-inch rims, which look extremely tiny on this car. I think we can do better than that. Let's go, like, 28s? Oh no, okay, front tires have blown out. 28s are apparently too big, but they look darn good, so there's got to be more that we can do with this. So there is an easy way to fix the front tire blowing out, and the reason why is just because this thing is extremely heavy. It is 2,229 kilograms, which is weighty to say the least. There's some ways we can cut down on weight, i.e. carbon fiber components. So let's turn some of the body into carbon fiber and get rid of some of this mass. It's actually completely made out of aluminum, funnily enough, with the chassis being made out of steel, and it is light steel as well, which is funny because, yeah, I mean, this car is not light in the slightest. Okay, so I lightened the car by like 300 kilos, and I had to abuse some quality sliders and also the optimized weight section, so this car just got extremely expensive. But in the end, I had to cheat a little bit and shrink the wheel size, so now we're running a measly 26s. That's lame, but that's all I can do. So the next thing that's easy to change that we can do without completely ruining the car is to go to the body panels and change the color into something that is pearlescent. It currently is mildly pearlescent from the looks of things, which is cool, but I'm talking about very strong pearl with a, well, let's try and make it so it's multicolored, basically. This is an example of a strong pearl color where it's purple and also red. So the car is basically two-tone. Also, the rims apparently on the inside are the same as the body color, so we might have to fix that. But yeah, that's a much stronger version. Also, we could do like a blue on the inside, blue purple. That looks pretty cool. Two-tone green, two-tone purple, that is just like out of this world. This two-tone pink and gold almost makes it look like the car is blushing when you see it in the light. It's it's absolutely ridiculous, but I kind of like it, especially with the ridiculousness factor. If we turn down the pearl strength a little bit, the base color is actually pink, but the pearl part is the gold. I don't know, this car is all over the place. It's probably not going to show up very well in BeamNG, but at least in automation, it is fun, so let's leave it there. I like how this color is called Cosmic Eternity. That is just like absolutely perfect for what this is. It almost needs stars. So I made the entire underside of the car chrome because that's just really cool and it's kind of fun, so that's what you get. I love the two-tone, but I think we're going to have to make that silver something else. It is a super cool color. And I don't know, the two-tone definitely brings us together to be the most ricey possible build. This isn't even rice. This is like glamour. This is like dub wheels. That's the only way I can describe this aesthetic. Funny story from a long time ago, and I mean a long time ago. I was in high school, but my first ever girlfriend, she knew that I was interested in cars, and she didn't really understand what that meant, I think, but it was okay. It's the thought that counts here. Basically what happened was she bought me a magazine for dub wheels, and I was not interested in that culture in the slightest, but because those magazines are full of like scantily clad ladies all like posing with cars and stuff, she went through it and ripped out all of the ladies from the magazine. So the only thing that was left in there was the wheels. Needless to say, I still have it, and it is a very funny memento of those days. Man, that was a long time ago. So this silver color is actually a white color, but it has a pearl to it, which I've just turned off. And it's basically a full flake white, essentially. So it looks really cool. It looks very silvery, but it is awkward in the grand scheme of things, and I'm just going to leave it. It's good enough as is. One thing that I probably should have done at the beginning of this was gone into this section here. This is a mod body, so it has some ability to be morphed. So why don't we widen this car significantly, because yeah, that just seems like something that they would do. So I don't want to change the overall shape of the car too much, just the width. We need maximum width. So this car has quite a few interesting design elements, including the grille. All of these little brackets here are actually running lights, as you can see, which is extremely cool. Same thing with this, I believe it's glowing. Or, yeah, no, it is definitely glowing. The little symbols and stuff, that's a lot of intricate work. I don't want to destroy it. That being said, it might need to be modified, at least a little bit. So this car needs a wing, and I'm experimenting with a few different styles and types and things just to try and get something that works. But it's difficult on this ride specifically. It just doesn't really suit wings that well. But I feel like it needs one regardless. It's just part of the club thing, man. We need a huge wing. How else is this thing supposed to be raced? We could go full on like race car stuff and have a big like bumper attached wing piece, like full race car, but then this stuff also contradicts that severely. I did make the wheels super wide, which is cool, but it's just, I don't know. Is this more of a lowrider or is this a race car? I can't decide. Oh my goodness, this project has just gone to a new level. I feel that this can be made to work, as ridiculous as it is. I almost want to make this car look good now. That is a crazy wing on the back. That's so cool. Man, it's so much fun to experiment with random stuff in this game. I'm going to take this wing and make it the secondary color. Okay, I've changed my mind, and we're going piano black for the entire top of the car just because it looks really darn cool. And I've also changed all the stripes and stuff. It has these little like body lines basically. I've changed them to also be piano black. It just looks better than the whitish silver stuff, and I really like it, so I'm gonna keep that. The wing on the back is also piano black, so super cool. So to complete our full-on dub treatment, I've done a few small things. Basically just took all of the chrome bits and made them piano black because piano black is such a popular color for stuff these days. The wheels are a lot different now. I mean, they're the same wheels as they were just because I really like those wheels. Although I should probably consider changing them. Just for reference, they are these ones so far. But even with a different texture, basically it's chrome and piano black mixture. Ridiculously cool. These ones as well are just way over the top, which is great, so I'm going to keep those. At the back, I have smoked the taillights because even though that's a really dumb thing to do, don't smoke your taillights. A lot of people do it, so there you go. Also, I think I'm going to put a wing here just because it's cool. That is ridiculously cool, so I'm keeping that. What a character line on there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I feel like I haven't done enough to this car to make it justify its new variant. Like, obviously it's different than it was, but is it different enough? Like, we gotta do more. One feature about this car that I love is the dual sunroofs. I'm gonna even, like, make it worse because this thing is essentially a limo, the back needs to be comfier than the front, so this is gonna be even larger all the way back to that new wing I just added. I think the game is having trouble keeping track of all the colors that are on this because there are a few colors, just a few. So based on the way this episode it turned out, the title shouldn't be Pimp My Ride, although I guess this is kind of pimping stuff. Does this seem like a car that a pimp would drive? Maybe if they were extremely wealthy, but yeah. Instead, it's going to be Dub My Ride. Because this thing is rolling on dubs, remix style. Oh my goodness, the ultimate thing to do is put a Corvette back end on your car. You can actually just straight up put an entire car on top of your car too if you want to. That's crazy how mods have come in this game. Like, what on this planet? This honestly gives me so many ideas. Oh man, we're gonna have to do this at some point. Now I'll admit that this is not really my favorite style, but it is a style, and if you like it, then so be it. Enjoy it, and I'm gonna delete that little thing. But yeah, enjoy it, and I don't know, have fun. This car is absolutely wild, and I really am happy with the way that it's come out. It's just such a strange combination of different paints and different styles all blended together. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and I'm really enjoying it. That being said, I think I might be done with the design. Obviously, this car is not going to perform quite the same as it used to. One thing I do want to do, and I mean this is maybe a little bit crazy because they definitely wouldn't do stuff like this in the actual shows and stuff that I'm trying to pretend to be here, but let's go rear-wheel drive. We're cutting off that all-wheel drive stuff. The car is now a rear-wheel drive. I'm hoping that with these fat tires it'll run just as nicely. We have no warnings or anything like that, so it should be good. 582 horsepower straight to the rear. Almost all of the weight of this car is on the front, but yeah, you can see 58% front, 42% rear. It is a twin-turbo V10. We have a lot of power to play with. Let's take this thing into beamng.drive and just see how it turned out. But first, I mean, let's take a look in the photo scene. That's where it really shines. Or maybe doesn't shine because it's come out kind of dull. The frame rate in the photo scene is atrocious in this game, but that's kind of the point. Wow, okay. Well, we get a bit of an animation, although it's at like 2 FPS. Yeah, the car, paint-wise, did not come out quite as much as I was hoping in terms of the shine. However, it is basically just going to turn out brown in BeamNG, I would assume, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's try it. Alright, we're here in BeamNG. The car is extremely quiet. I probably should have cut the mufflers off of it, because from the looks of things, I don't know if we can get to them. Yeah, that thing right there looks like a muffler. So this car has mufflers on both sides. Interestingly enough, the pearlescent has turned out to be completely yellow. So it looks honestly better, and I might just change the color of it to yellow for the purposes of the thumbnail, because it looks way, way better with that color. One thing I just realized as this game was loading up, by the way, is this is probably supposed to be a Maybach, and I don't know if I said that at the beginning. I think I said like Rolls-Royce and Bentley, but yeah, no, I believe, based on the symbol, that this car is intended to be a Maybach. It looks darn good rolling around in the West Coast map, though. You can see that the suspension is probably a little too soft because the wheels are clipping through the body, and that's definitely not a wheels issue, it's a suspension issue. Don't at me. This car is pretty ridiculously fast as is. I did not tune anything other than changing it to rear-wheel drive. I did not do anything with the driveline or the gears or anything in that area, so it is what it is, and it is pretty darn cool and fast and really, really quiet. So what did you think of this episode of, well, whatever I'm going to call it? Let me know, what should I call this series in the comments? I have like 20 million ongoing series, but at this point I really am just trying to, keep control of my car, but I'm also just trying to come up with fun ways to interact with the community, and this is one of those ways. So every once in a while I'm just going to come out and say, hey, I'm looking for cars for the latest video, and when I do that, I'll have a little like thing of requirements or things I'm looking for, and then you can just drop one in the channel, whatever one it is, probably new video discussion, and then it may or may not appear on a video if you're interested. But yeah, I like this idea of modifying other people's cars. It is a lot of fun, and I think it's something that can help evolve the general formula of this channel a little bit. That is ultimately my goal, pretty much. By the way, this car is a lot more lively without traction control, which is excellent. It's still heavy, it's still huge, but yeah, no traction control means burnout, so I'm down. Also, drifting. Lots and lots of drifting. This area is all new. I don't think I've been in here before, but you can actually drive into a steel mill, which is really cool. Man, they're always adding stuff to BeamNG, and I'm constantly shocked by it. But hey, there's a lot of new stuff to do in this game, a lot of new stuff that I've come up with as well. Yeah, stick around. I just wanted to say, before we smash into this fence, actually I'm not going to make it, am I? Oh, wow, this car is buff. That was barely even a knock. I think it still drives. Yeah, I mean, if we weren't stuck in the fence at least. Just wanted to say thank you for watching this video and my channel in general. If you're interested in this kind of content, I make a lot of videos. I make one of these every single week. So check out the other ones, especially the recent ones. They're all good. Good guaranteed. If you're looking to support me, easiest way to do it, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and comment or one of those things. I would appreciate it a lot. I've also got a Patreon, and I've got a join button membership program thing on YouTube, which you can check out as well if you're down. But yeah, just being here and watching this video all the way to the end is more than enough, so thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Things have actually been growing really fast on this channel recently. Stuff is going good on Automotive Flux, and I'm very pleased about that, so thank you. More stuff to come, more shorts and things as well. I have a lot of ideas. It's just about finding the time to actually do them. But yeah, hopefully this is a good way to mix up with the community a little bit, and let me know if you enjoyed this build, or if you want to see me ruin cars in different ways next time. I have another idea. Potentially taking a random van and making it an off-road beast. Who knows? See you again soon. Just want to say thank you to those in the V8 tier of my Join Button memberships. We have Overlord, Seria1, Sinlab, J Pope, Davis Heister, Baja Blast, Goofy Plays, Phoenix Shark, Mancini Country, and Shadow Jasper, as well as iLook, Volheimilk. Thank you for watching. See you guys again soon. Yeah, I was going to say something and I forgot what it is. I don't have any crazy stories this week, but I am recording this literally the day that it comes out, so yeah, last minute to say the very least. But I've got some good stuff coming up. Showcase hopefully next year. We'll see. I have to like finish 20 projects in the next month and a half, so I'm kind of going mental, but it's okay. It's all part of the process, and the process is just working really hard. So yeah, see you guys again soon.